I'm Michael Sanders. I'm the lead producer and the public relations guy for Team Dystopia. Basically, the guys, the original development team for Dystopia started off about 2001, late 2001, early 2002 is where they really set out to do a design document, start doing concepts and that sort of thing. And they got together in Brisbane, Australia. They all got together and said, well, we really like cyberpunk stuff. We really like this one game, so let's set out to modify it and make our own game. And they got together. They started working on stuff. I think late 2004 and early to mid 2005 is really when stuff started to pick up. They finished a lot of models and were able to show these models and the level that they were going to release, and that really got Valve interested in mid 2005. So Valve flew them out to their studios, and three of the developers had the chance to work with Valve for a week on Dystopia. They're in the offices with those developers that were, I think at the time, working on Team Fortress 2, maybe it was just episode 1, I think. And then in late 2005, they released the Dystopia demo, which was really one of the first full modifications for the source engine. So in that time span, the development team got into modding really the community really well, and over the next course of years, they released a couple of different versions a couple of different updates to the demo. Then I got involved midway through the release, the development of version 1, and from there, I mean, it was just really what it was for a very long time was about 4 or 5 guys. It was a coder and an accompanying coder with him who would pop in every now and then. But then you had like 2 level design guys and a project lead. Everything previous to the demo had been done by a large group of like 10 or 12 or almost, I think, yeah, about 12 or 15 people. But everything after that in the subsequent version 1 release was done by like 3-4 people. And then later on in that development cycle, I think another like 4 or 5 were brought on, myself included. So they released version 1 and then released a 1.1. And that was enough publicity and that was enough work for them to constitute trying to get into the industry. For that entire time, it's been a lot of releases, a lot of different maps that we've tried to release and feed the community. A lot of updates. Our product has changed entirely since 2005, so it's vastly different. We've had so many people come in and out of the doors of Dystopia, and not only that, testers. We've had probably to date like 250 different testers who have come in and out, and probably about 30 different people who have contributed to Dystopia throughout its entire lifespan. We kind of came from almost a humble beginning. Valve gave us a lot of support. Microsoft, we even went to a press conference for Microsoft and gave a PowerPoint on using the Windows.NET infrastructure for development with the source engine and that sort of thing. So that kind of gave us the groundwork and gave us the speed to release as early as we did. Not a whole lot of modifications were releasing around that same time, and they did. But we were really one of the first full modifications for the source engine, and that's kind of what gave the popularity to Dystopia early on. Well, apart from all the other mods, what makes us unique, it's interesting, and it's a testament to the modification community now that our mod is becoming less and less original, which it's a scary thought, but it happens to games. But we're class-based, team-oriented warfare in a cyberpunk setting, so it's a future cyberpunk setting. And not only that, we have essentially 2 different games, because you can be in meat space, which is the regular physical world, and then you can be in cyberspace. So you're actually jacked into, say, the internet or some kind of cybernet or some kind of Hollywood setting, I guess, as you could say it, for how data and packets and hackers, their inhabitants, takes place. So, you jack in there, and that's almost, the paramount pivotal point of our uniqueness with our mod now, because so many mods have team-based, or excuse me, class-based, or classes and different weapons and that sort of thing. So it's not so unique for us anymore. But we have, we do have that cyberspace aspect. We have lots of different settings that we kind of take place as far as what we can do in the cyberpunk field. We're not just that zombie thing or the combat, the modern combat thing. It's that's well and great for them. That's their theme. But there hasn't been a whole ton of cyberpunk or dystopian type games out there. So the first developers really felt it necessary to do that sort of thing. It's unique in that it's very objective based. It's not a death match. It's not a let's fight until everyone's dead sort of thing, or that someone has more points than the other. It's objective, and that's hasn't been really something sought after by the industry a lot because of its technical responsibility and how much how big it is to undertake something like that. And I really feel that our game is unique not only because of the cyberspace aspect, but because we're so objective oriented in with Dystopia that it takes over the entire game, and you have to make sure that your team is with you that entire time, because if you guys don't work together, you're not going to get the objective. In the future of Dystopia, there's quite a few things. We're looking at animating a whole lot of more environmental stuff, so that just trying to make the environment come alive and have stuff kind of swing in idle animations and be there openly. And now that we have some animators, we have that opportunity, and making things a lot easier. We do intend on redoing our entire HUD menu to make it full screen like Team Fortress 2. So that we can, better accommodate for a lot of room, a lot of explanation of how weapons work and what they specifically do, and better pictures, and hopefully eventually even videos. And obviously we're going to keep working at updating our maps, keeping them, bug-free is a big thing for us. Adding, different features to these maps and making it more refined is something that we'll be doing. But primarily, I think for the next major content release, and I'm talking, maps, probably looking at, one or two maps, just a small release like this one as far as maps go, but a lot more models, a lot more of our own textures and sounds, and trying to get it farther away from Half-Life 2 and more of our own sort of content. I think a big goal for a lot of people has been redefining things like that, and starting to really take apart our own mod from the first team that put it together, and do stuff like new animations for our players, and do specific stuff like that.